Hey, what is up guys, this is Corbo. Welcome to what might be the last top rares champs video that we do for quite some time. That is to say, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel just a little bit, man. So getting straight onto the first rare champ of the list. This one is actually suggested by one of you guys who goes by the name of Max. The mad lad says, Master Butcher nuff said the early Bommel MVP to protect your team from his minion bombs explosions to soak up that massive early damage. Dude, I think you're right, man. So let's head on into Master Butcher. There he is in all of his beautiful glory. Looking like an absolute psycho. So, quick kit breakdown. As always, man, the A1 is just a single hitter attack with a chance of placing a provoke. Not too bad. Books are a little bit useless on this, I suppose, but hey. The A2 places a provoke debuff on the target for 2 turns, 15% crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns, and places a 25% increased attack buff on all allies for a couple turns. Honestly, not too bad. It's a reliable provoke. You can dial it down to a 3-turn cooldown. Oh, sorry, a 4-turn cooldown. Ooh, 4-turn cooldown. That's a little bit gnarly, but the real strength of Master Butcher is all about his passive. So, when attacked, heals all allies equal to the amount of damage taken. Does not work against bosses, except it kinda does work against one boss, which is what this guy's all about, right? So you can dial this thing down to a 1-turn cooldown. And this is super effective against Bommel the Dreadhorn. Why? That boss in particular deals massive waves of explosion damage that are literally completely counter-healed by Master Butcher. And the trick is, it's not Bommel the Dreadhorn that's dealing the damage, right? That's proccing the heat exchange. It's the adds in that fight, the bombs in that fight that Bommel is summoning that deal the explosion damage. It's worth noting as well that those bombs that Bommel spawns will always deal 40% of a champion's health as damage. And so, what does that mean? That means that the more health that Master Butcher has, the more percentage damage he takes, and the more he heals everybody else. So having him have, hopefully, the most health possible on your team going into Bommel is going to give him the ability to guaranteed keep the rest of your team alive no matter what, because he will always be out healing Bommel's bomb damage on every other champ in the team. So generally speaking, you want to build Master Butcher in speed and accuracy gear to, of course, me making sure that he actually lands these all-important provokes, then just as much health as possible. Another cool thing you can do with Butcher is slot him in something like a reflex set, so that he's dialing the cooldown down on his A2 as much as possible, right? You get that 40% chance every turn of reducing the cooldown of the A2. Then this provoke becomes a lot more reliable, and you can actually use him into things like Magma Dragon, things like even Hydra, if you are wanting for a better provoke option. All in all, a very solid rare. And I'm extremely happy that I looked out and got him on my account, now knowing that he's really tight into a very specific boss fight. I know that I can now just hold on to this guy, which is what these videos are all about, by the way, man. I'm still a fairly new player. I'm using the videos myself to learn which champions I really might want to keep a hold of. And yeah, Master Butcher is definitely one of those. And hey, speaking of helping out new players, make sure if you haven't already, you go ahead and enter the happy little promo code GameLoop to get yourself a free energy refill, 100,000 silver, and 10 experience brews. And you know what? While you're at it, if you are looking to start a fresh new raid account, make sure to do so by using the promo link down below at the top of the video description. Doing so will start off your new account with a fresh epic champion, a whole bunch of starting resources, overall just get your account off on the right foot. Which, by the way, I actually didn't use a promo link when starting off my account, because that's just how much of a noob I was like 2.5 months ago or something, you know? So, oh my god, have I learned so much already in just the past 65 days. Alright, man. It would appear that Numpkin has deigned to join us for the remainder of this video. Let's continue on with the list, shall we? Next up, we're going to pay a visit to the Happy Little Ogren tribes, and this is one that's actually suggested by you guys, like, quite a while ago, like 2 videos ago or something. Good old Roughstone. This is another rare champ that I've actually got my hands on, and I've decided I'm going to hold on to this guy, mostly for secret rooms and faction wars, right? This guy, bit of a stun set god. The A1 is an attack all enemies. Any champ with attack all enemies, you definitely want to keep your eye on, you know what I'm saying? The A2 leaves a little bit to be desired. It's an attack one enemy, destroys the target's max HP by 15% of the damage inflicted. For the kind of content you're probably going to be using him in, which again is probably going to be secret rooms and faction wars, oftentimes you'll actually want to disable the A2 so that you are spamming the hell out of the A3, which is attacks one enemy, attacks ignore half of the target's defense, and have a 50% chance of granting an extra turn if this attack is critical. So, what you want to be doing is build this guy with a 100% crit, right? smack them in a goddamn stun set, and then, dude, just wail on enemies on repeat with the 3 turn cooldown, potential of granting an extra turn, and the A1. And that's really it. Just a really, really solid controller to get your hands on. And that's it, really. That's Rough Stone, man. Quite a simple one, to be fair. I suppose something that bears mentioning is that none of his skills that you'll be spamming over and over and over require any kind of accuracy. The stun set does not require accuracy to proc. So you're just going to get him in the 4-piece stun set, and then it's just about giving him as much speed as humanly possible. Oh, and the 100% crit rate, of course. But really quite easy to itemize, and a good one to hold on to, I feel, even if you only take him to level 50. Speaking of solid Faction Wars champs, next up we've got good old Evir, the Alchemage. Again, this might be another guy that you just want to kind of take to 50 and stop there. His kit is honestly just quite the all-rounder. So the A1 is an attack 1 enemy with a chance of placing a strong poison debuff for a couple of turns. Honestly, not too bad. You can also book this up fully to make it a 45% chance of poisoning, which is really quite good. The A2 is what you call a little bit of everything. It's an attack all enemies with a... Actually, you can book this up to a 100% chance to place a weak decrease attack debuff and the weak decrease speed debuff if the target is poisoned, right? So couple them up with another poisoner, and suddenly this becomes quite a, you know, pretty sweet A2. I was going to call it a powerhouse, but it's not exactly there. And so, I don't know, I feel like you probably wouldn't take Evir the Alchemage to level 60. And the A3 is a happy little turn meter fill by 15%, and a heal all allies by 15% of this champion's max HP as well, bookable down to a 4-turn cooldown. I guess the gear on Evir the Alchemage, you just want to kind of slap him in enough accuracy to ensure that his debuffs are landing quite consistently. You want him in a good amount of speed, so you're cashing in on spamming out the 10 meter fill as much as possible. And then beyond that, just make him tanky. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy could do a damn good job for you in things like Faction Wars, Secret Rooms, that kind of thing, man. Would I take him to 60? Yeah. Probably not in my view. And next up we've got Tree Shield Not, and I feel like he's in quite a similar position but for the Sylvan Watchers faction, right? He's kind of like a catch-all, slam him into... In fact, I think he actually has an aura. Yeah, that's active for ally speed in faction crypts only by 15%. It's a little bit of something. On the A1, it's a triple hitter with a chance of placing a decreased attack debuff for a couple of turns, and that is each individual hit, by the way. So it's actually really quite likely, especially with books, that this decreased attack is going to go up. If you're really just getting started, this guy might even be part of something like a really early Fire Knight team until you find something better. The A2 is a heal all allies by 50% of their max HP and place a weak increased defense buff on allies for a couple of turns. Book this thing down to a 2-turn cooldown. But the real, dude, the real tea, the real sweetness with the good old Tree Shield is the double revive on the A3. Probably one of the best revive abilities of all rare champions in the game. Certainly, maybe, is it actually the only double revive of all rare champs in the game? It might be. Maybe I'm wrong about that, man. But yeah, it revives them on quite a weak state, but they do revive with a shield buff equal to 20% of their max HP. So not great, not terrible, but the fact it's a double revive on a rare can't really be underestimated. Honestly, when it comes to gearing, good old Not, I sort of feel like, I don't know, curing? 3-turn cooldown on the A3. You can maybe just slam this guy into curing set and just use him as kind of like the backbone support of the team. I also feel like you're very, very limited in options anyway when it comes to the Sylvan Watchers, right? When it comes to like rares in particular. And so probably more so than any faction in the game right now, holding on to rares that might be really, really good. We've already covered Flannan, by the way, in a previous video as well. Tree Shield Not might be right up there with rares that you just want to hold on to. Even if you don't want to max him out eventually, Faction Wars, he might be able to do a job for you. Next up, we've got a golden oldie, boys, and it has gotta be the skinhead himself, Executioner, dude. This guy, a confirmed Chad when it comes to Faction Wars and Secret Rooms. Honestly, comes down to just a hell of a lot of control all bundled up into one kit, especially for a rare champion. He is lacking quite a bit on the base speed. 89 is super, super low, so he's quite slow. But still, that's not what he's all about, man. So the A1, attack one enemy, have a chance or a 30% chance of placing a stun debuff for 110. Pretty good. The A2, this is where it gets serious. It's an attack all enemies with a decrease 10 meter of 20% and has a 75% chance booked of placing a weak decrease speed debuff for a couple of turns as well. And the A3 is where this guy just gets pushed over the edge, dude. So it is a self buffer on a 5-10 cooldown fully booked. It is a strong increase defense buff and a counterattack buff on this champion lasting for 3 turns. And of course, counterattack is always worth a lot more on champs that have a good A1, and when it comes to non-boss content, things like secret rooms, faction wars, stuff like that, having a stun on the A1 is just crazy as hell, really. So when it comes to gear, you want to build him, of course, in accuracy gear, speed gear to really make up for that low base speed. And you know what? I've even seen some folks slam this guy in his stun set and find like decent value. And I've got to wonder as well if something more like a niche kind of provoke set could also work as well. I don't know if you're getting the the A2 off often enough to justify a provoke set, to be fair. I don't know, maybe it could work. How would you build good old execution, man? What set would you slam this guy in? Definitely a golden oldie though. Next up, we've got good old Selenia Nightcloak, man, of the High Elves faction. Somewhat reliable HP burner. Damn good one to get you started if you're looking for a HP burner, man. Let's check out the kit, dude. The A1, attack one enemy. Heals this champion by 10% of their max HP. Heals this champion by 20% of their max HP instead when attacking a HP burned target. Pretty decent stuff. The A2 is an attack all enemies. Has a 65% chance, fully booked, of increasing the duration of any HP burn debuffs by 1 turn. And the A3 is where she actually applies the HP burn debuffs. Attack 3 times at random before attacking, places a weak increased accuracy buff on this champ for a couple turns. Each hit has a 75% chance, fully booked, of placing a HP burn debuff for a couple of turns. Dude, what I wouldn't give, man, to get my hands on this champion right now. I'm really lacking any means to reliably apply HP burn, and this feels like it would be an extremely good one to get my hands on. Oh yeah, and the passive, of course, boosts this champion's turn meter by 5% each time an HP burn debuff is activated. I think pairing her alongside another HP burner and just getting max value out of this A2, maybe put her in like a reflex set or a relentless set and just get more turns out of her, so you're spamming the crap out of this A2 and the A3 as well, to be fair, but mostly the A2 as much as possible, and just cranking up the duration of the HP burns would be really good. Dude, especially if you're playing with like an HP burn activator as well. Oh my god, the amount of turns that she can get. Yeah, I think just maximizing her turns as much as possible is what you want. So obviously you want to build her in accuracy so she can actually be applying those debuffs. Then reflex, relentless, get those cooldowns knocked down, just as much speed, as many turns as possible. Selenia Nightcloak, man, for a rare champion, honestly really quite excellent when it comes to being a HP burner. And last and honestly probably least, boys, and this is how you can tell I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit now for these damn tough rare champs videos, we're gonna be covering on good old Berserker. And you know what, man? No. This is called from the future during the editing phase of this video. I've changed my mind. Berserker, one of the best rares in the game. I don't know, dude. Like, after the fact, like, after I'd recorded this last video, I actually took the time to put a bit more homework into Berserker and actually study what he looks like if you max him out, right? Full ascended, level 60, blah, blah, blah. And it just doesn't make the grade, man. I don't know, it's just not very good, right? I feel like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit too much by squeezing Berserker in here, man. I don't think he deserves a spot on the list. Unless, hey, maybe you've maxed him out and you disagree, you know? Maybe I shouldn't be doubting myself, man. Maybe he's actually quality enough. He's just something of a job in a stun set. I've seen some people use him in that sense. Mostly the stun set, you know, getting value out of the A3. But just because the A3 hits 2 times, that does not give you 2 rolls at landing the stun with the stun set. So even on like that kind of utility front, he kind of falls a little bit short. You know what I'm saying? So hell, I don't know, man. I'll leave this one open to you guys. This is definitely going to be the last top tier rares video we cover in a while, because I feel like I have reached the bottom of the barrel. And if I'm wrong, and if you feel like I missed any during this mini series, make sure to dot it down below in the comments, man. It'd be a really interesting read. Hope you all did enjoy this little mini series. We still got a crap load of epic champions to cover, so don't go nowhere. And stay tuned for the channel for when those videos start to roll out. But for now, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all did enjoy. If you're looking to start off a fresh new raid account, make sure to do so by clicking the promo link down below at the top of the description box to grab a free epic champ and a bunch of starting resources. It's gonna be awesome. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.